Good morning. Thank you very much for attending our first webinar of the year, State of Our Sisterhood. This is something that I wanted to do similar to like how our president does the State of the Union. I'd like to do this year and again next year so that our sisters throughout the country knows exactly what is going on with our order. So again, I would like to thank you for attending this. We will be open to any questions and answers. Please put them in the Q&A, or you can also put them in the chat and we will address them at the end of the program. As we begin this new year, let us recommit to our order, and I encourage you to have all your divisions do the same at your next meeting. We are here assembled as the members of the Ladies Angel of Hibernians, an organization which pledges itself to the cause of the Roman Catholic Church, our country, and to the welfare of our order. This order is a vast sisterhood of women bound together by a solemn obligation for the mutual benefit, and its object is to elevate both socially and morally the motto of our creed and heritage. The motto of our order is friendship, unity, and Christian charity. Friendship should consist in cultivating kindly feelings and assisting one another to the best of our ability. Unity in combining efforts for mutual support in sickness and distress. And Christian charity in loving one another and doing to all as we wish they would do unto us. Do you recommit to the pledge taken at the time of your installation and promise to assist in the general welfare of this order? As we recommit, let us remember all those who went before us and follow their examples of making the LAOH the best women's organization in our country, and others want to be a part of this great sisterhood. Your national board is here to serve all of our sisters. Together, we can make history. I am proud to be a part of this fantastic group of women that are dedicated and committed to serving our membership. With a good team, anything can be accomplished. At our first board meeting, this group demonstrated unity in addressing an issue that came up at the convention. To help build on our team, I had planned on a luncheon so that we could get to know one another better and start forming a team. But at that first board meeting, we were united together, and I knew that I was going to be working with a great team of women. You know, unity is strength, and when there's teamwork, anything can be achieved. And I think this group of women is going to prove that. Alone, we can do so little, but together with all of our membership, we can do so much. And that has already been evident by how the women have come forward to support some of our events. Again, this is a dreaded thing for all of us, our year-end reports. But they all should be in the hands of the officers responsible at this time. I'd like to thank Kathy Turk and Sandy Swift for meeting with the treasurers and the secretaries. Also with Marianne Lipinski, who has met with the juniors and the degree teams. And again, Christina Parisi helps us with the national audit of all of our accounts. And Catherine Keene and Makata does our taxes. And they are the ones that have helped all of us do our taxes, and they will continue to do your 990s. Again, no one should contact the IRS. And if they get a letter from the IRS, you are supposed to contact our national secretary, our national treasurer, Kathy Turk. One of our first challenges in this term was our banking issues. As a lot of you guys know, banks have changed a lot of their rules. So before we could make any changes to the signatures on our account, we needed to make sure that all of our checks that were issued at the convention were cashed. I can tell you that the teamwork between Kathy Turk, Sandy Swift, and myself hunting down these checks was remarkable. And although we could not do it within the first 30 days, as soon as we could, the signatures were changed on our accounts and we are moving forward. We've already discussed how to avoid this at the end of this term. Over the last few years, the ladies Angel Earth Librarians have received grants from the Irish government. Our first grant helped us with our history book. Our second grant helped us with our marketing. And last year and again this year, we had a program called Embracing Our Heritage. This year's Embracing Our Heritage is focusing on the Irish women of the diaspora. We've highlighted the Nuns of the Battlefield and our own membership. We are also going to be working with Her Story, which fits in with us, that women are remarkable and we make our own history. We make history for our country and for our religion and our heritage, and we cannot forget that. And also, we are very involved with making sure that the promotion of our patron saints, St. Patrick and St. Bridget, are recognized. And we are going to be having a book club with Patrick's Day and the St. Patrick Virtual Book Club. Again, I want to thank Jo Rawlings, who is our grant writer. She has written the last 2 grants, and I want to thank her for that. And we just recently received notification that we will be receiving an additional amount of funding for the current group that we are working in. Again, we've had a relationship with Notre Dame since 1978. Notre Dame has the scholarship, and we do have a young woman from my own division, Ellen Lavelle, who is a recipient. And knowing our young women and men that have been touched by our generosity so they could attend Notre Dame is something that our forefathers would very much be an appreciation. Also, with our funds to Notre Dame, we've helped with the Keogh Naughton Center with the documentary 1916. Since that time, the Keogh Naughton Center has helped with the Cushwa Center in being a co-sponsor of the annual Hibernian Lecture. We were able to go this year to hear a wonderful presentation on faith in our fatherland. Unfortunately, it was a football weekend, so the number of women that could attend was diminished because the cost of hotel rooms is outrageous on a football weekend. Also, which a lot of our members do not know, our funds also assist the Cushwa Center in the Hibernian Research Awards. And this year we do have some highlights that we have Ellen McMahon Lewis, who is doing research on women. Bridget Goes to War, the Irish American women and the Civil War. And also Catholic Religious Women in the Irish Diaspora by William Mulligan. So our research grant that we help with the endowment is also studying for Irish American women. If anyone wants to see the work of the Cushwa Center, I would advise you to sign up on their American Catholic Studies newsletter. It is full of information. At the annual lecture, there's usually a dinner, and I was honored this year to lead us in grace. We were able to meet with our recipient, Ellen Lavelle, who's in this bottom picture. And again, the campus of Notre Dame is just beautiful, and we always pay tribute to our Blessed Virgin Mary. I am proud to announce that the Hibernian lecture this year will be on September 29th, a Friday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. It fits into what the LAOH is all about, telling the stories of Irish women. The topic is Radical Women and the Irish Revolution by Julie Morrissey. We will be reaching out to the Inn at St. Mary's to attain a block of rooms. And as soon as that information is available, you will be hearing from our vice president and chair of the Hibernian Fund, which is Mary Ann Lipinski. Again, let our name be known. And we have been lacking in a lot of respects that we have not been in the media. I am privileged that as a writer of iIrish, I can keep us in the loop in the Midwest. But I have to thank Beth Zusik, who was our previous publicity chair, because she was the one that was putting out press releases and got us on the front cover of the Irish Echo. So again, thank you to Beth. With our grant, it's for publication of ads. And here is one of the ads that was in the iIrish. And there will be ads in Irish Echo as well. And again, I want to thank Dolores Desch, the Freedom for All Ireland, who helped with a write-up of how we welcome the envoy, Joseph Kennedy III. And we did have some nice coverage in the Echo on that. As most of you know, the Irish Echo has been around for 95 years and has served mostly in the New York area, but also serves around the country. I was proud to attend their campfire, where we looked at the future of Irish America, and on behalf of the LAOH received a Cara Medal for all of the work that we do in promoting our Irish heritage. Also, we just have a new ambassador, Ambassador Geraldine Byrne-Nason. She is the second woman that is receiving this high prestigious position. Hill Irish had a reception in the beginning of October to welcome Geraldine to Washington and her new post. And I could thank our special advisor, Keith Carney, for extending an invitation to myself as the national president of the Ladies Ancient Earth Hibernians. And our sister, Siobhan Dennehy, was there representing the immigration group. We had sisters from Virginia, Maryland, and DC well represented. And we also had some of our brothers from the local area. So again, I'd like to thank Keith for making sure that the ladies had a strong presence at the ambassador's reception. I found out at the reception that the ambassador was going to be coming to Cleveland at the end of the month at the National Conference of Irish Network. And since networking is part of our goals, I went to that conference. There was a wonderful reception for the ambassador at City Cleveland Hall, where I was joined by two other members of the national board, Maura Leffel, our fundraising chair, and Pat Lavelle, our public relations officer. So again, by being at network, we were able to network with Irish networks in Austin, Seattle, Miami. So it was good for our order. And I had the privilege of being invited to speak about the Ladies Ancient Earth Hibernians at that event. Again, the Irish Echo has been our friend. They always publish articles for us, and we were honored that in their first responder, we had a member of our order from the state of New York, Kate Deegan, who was recognized by the Echo as being one of the best first responders. And as you notice, Kate is one of our younger members. Our order will be solvent because we have women like Kate who have made an impact on their communities. One of our goals was to highlight our younger women. I promoted this event, 40 Under 40, to our state presidents. And I am proud to announce that we have 3 members that will be honored by the Irish Echo 40 Under 40. Maura Flynn from Indiana, Brianna Curran from Pennsylvania, Maggie Brogan of New York. So congratulations. Also in our local communities, we have individuals recognized as people to watch. Bridget Linton is one of those individuals that was recognized as one of the people in Cleveland to watch due to her community work with Make-A-Wish. She works for ESPN, so she's seen on the sidelines at Browns games. She is always willing to help, and I'm proud to say she's also the daughter of our past national president, Kathy Litton. So we know where she gets it, and we see great things in her future. Again, community notices what our members do. And I'm proud to say that we had members that were honored by the city of Philadelphia, being recognized as the top 10 100 influential women. So we want to thank Kathleen Fanning, Maria Gallagher, Jeannie Hermley, Liz Kerr, Anna Marie Kuvik, Patty Lomer, Annie McCrane, and Lee C., that they were recognized for their community work in the Philadelphia area. Thank you, sisters. This year, we did have a lot of great anniversaries. I'm proud to say that we have Division 59 who celebrated their 100th anniversary. And Kathy Turk, our national treasurer, was able to represent me and gave them a proclamation at their celebration. Also, we had Division 39 of Philadelphia celebrating their 40th. And they had the privilege of being able to honor 2 of their charter members. This doesn't happen too often, and we'd like to thank Kathleen Fanning and Bernadette Boyle for all of their work over the past 40 years with Division 39 of Philadelphia. We also have some other special anniversaries. Today, Celtic Cross of Sussex County, Delaware will be celebrating their 10th anniversary. We had St. Dymphna, Division 8 in Glen Cove, celebrated their 20th. Division 61 celebrated their 25th. There's St. Catherine Drexel in Philadelphia County. Also, we had the Molly McGuire's, Division 1 in Carbon County, Pennsylvania, celebrated their 25th. We've had 30th anniversary celebrated by Our Lady of Knock of Boone County, pardon me, in Kentucky, and 35th anniversary of Division 1 Trinidad in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. I have issued certificates from the National Board recognizing these milestones. If you know of a division or individuals that have celebrated or are celebrating a big milestone, the National Board wants to be aware of this so that we can celebrate with them with issuing a certificate. I was proud that I was asked to issue a certificate on someone that was celebrating their 65 years as service to as a member of the LAOH, Sister Phyllis O'Dow, a National Life member, and I believe she's from the state of New York. So thank you, sister, for all your work over the last 65 years. We also have divisions that are disbanding, but we also have divisions that are forming. I'm very sorry to hear that Division 4, the Golden Rose of Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, has voted to disband. They are close to the Philadelphia area, and we hope and pray that no members are lost and that they will all transfer to a new division in the Philadelphia area. We also received information that there is interest in forming a new division in Wake County, North Carolina. So we're awaiting the news that their paperwork is all complete. But I need to ask, what can each of us do to help grow our order? One easy thing to grow our order is if every one of our members would ask one member to join, we could double our membership. We know there are issues with joining. Our club is restrictive that you have to be Irish American, or married to an AOH member, or of descent, and also a Catholic. But I can tell you, women that may have been fallen away from the Catholic Church, when they see the activities that the women do in their community, we have brought members back to the church. And when they become members of the church, they have joined our order and are making a great impact. Also, we have the challenges of blending a wonderful group of sisters together of all ages. We need to be aware of the needs of all of our members. Divisions need to look out of the box and say, how can we meet both needs? Does it mean that every other month you meet during the day and then during the evening? You meet during the week, or do you meet during the weekend? Please look and see how you can keep your members and grow your membership. Also, I received an email saying that dues seems at times to be excessive. On the national board, we have a per capita, and we do have an assessment for our appeals for aid. And this year we have an assessment for a traveling degree team. $6.50 is not a whole lot of money from each individual member to have a national board work. We have not increased those dues in many, many years. But you also have your state per capita as well. If your members are concerned that you may be charging $60, $70 and it's too much for them, try to see how you can be of assistance to them so they can stay a member and still participate in state and national events by covering those dues. Again, think outside the box. Maybe divisions have to increase their own fundraising to help some of their members that are elderly with their dues, or those that are experiencing some financial difficulties. Again, in our motto, when we pledge, we're to help our sisters in sickness and distress. So if we do not want to lose members because of them concerned about financial issues or any other issues, please, we are a great sisterhood. Let's continue that. And again, our goal is everyone ask a friend that meets our criteria to become a member. And also reach out to friends that want to be of assistance to us to attend our events and help us with some of our aids. Again, this year, Freedom for All Ireland, which is a dear cause to many of us. This is the anniversary, the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement. It was Irish American and people in Ireland and in Britain that worked closely with this first Good Friday Agreement. We've had peace for the last 25 years because of the Good Friday Agreement. There are many stories of advocates that assisted in making sure this happened. The Ladies Ancient and Hibernians are joining with Relatives for Justice to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement, with the format of highlighting the women on both sides of the Atlantic who served as advocates in making sure the Good Friday Agreement was made a reality. We have reached out to many of our own members that were advocates. We have Sarah McAuliffe Berlin, who is in the Irish American Unity Conference. She has provided a statement of their and her advocacy during the Good Friday Agreement. We also reached out to Kathy Whitford of Cleveland, who was the Midwest chair of Irish Northern Aid during that period. We are awaiting her remembrance. We have reached out to our own, and everybody knows who I'm going to be talking about next, Kathleen Savage, who has been an advocate. And when you go to Ireland traveling with her, she is like a celebrity because of all the work she did to help. She will be writing something as well. We have reached out to our ambassador, Geraldine Byrne Nason, who wrote a remarkable remembrance. And I recently had a talk with Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, who will be reaching out on our behalf to her cousin, William Kennedy Smith, to receive something about the role of Jean Kennedy Smith, who was the ambassador from America at that time, who was behind the scenes doing a lot of the work. And we do not want to forget these women. In order for anything to work out, women need to be involved, and especially in peace. We have Relatives for Justice working with the women over in Northern Ireland and in the Republic of Ireland to get statements from them as well as their roles during this time. We have reached out to Georgetown University that does have an institute about peace, and we have received a wonderful submission about peace and the role of women in Ireland and also throughout the world. So we look forward to the rolling out of this publication, and also we will probably be having some webinars on this. Also with the Good Friday Agreement, thanks to Dolores Desch, she has done a commemorative pin for the Ladies Ancient of Hibernians, and we have our flyer here. It has been very well received, and we're all already in our second publication of the pin. So it's going to be a collector's item. So please purchase a pin. It'd be great to see a LAOH member wearing a Freedom for All Ireland 25th anniversary pin everywhere this St. Patrick's Day. Our donations to Freedom for All Ireland are up throughout the country. So I thank our membership. I thank our Freedom for All Ireland committee, who has done a fantastic job. They've instituted Giving Tuesday, which was shared on social media, and we did get many donations from that. In our preamble, we say that we are promoting Irish unity, and we found an organization that is promoting Irish unity. It is Ireland's future. We all saw what happened with Brexit, how the referendum to remove England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland from the EU has had some drastic implications to our brothers and sisters in the north of Ireland. They voted overwhelmingly to stay within the EU. This was not planned appropriately of what would happen if they were removed from the European Union. Hopefully, there will be a referendum on Irish unity within the next 10 years. But plans need to be made so that it is successful and that everyone is pleased with the results of a united Ireland. Ireland's future is that group. They are preparing and promoting Irish unity. What's special about this group is they look at all aspects of Irish society. There have been some gatherings where only members of the loyalist, unionist persuasion were in attendance and promoting Irish unity. They are talking about it. They're coordinating groups. They are traveling all over Ireland. This is something that the LAOH and the Freedom for All Ireland Committee in particular felt a need to support. We recently, between the National Board and the Freedom of All Ireland, have made a $1,000 donation to Ireland's future so they can continue to plan for Irish unity, which has been a goal of the Ladies' Ancient Art of Hibernians in our whole existence. Also, we are a group of women that are always willing to help others. Usually, we are reactive. When Superstorm Sandy hit the New York area, both the AOH and LAOH felt a need and developed something to help those in that area. We reach out the last 2 years, I know for a fact, past President Karen Keene and myself would reach out to our membership in areas that had flooding, bad snowstorms, tornadoes, to make sure our sisters were safe or if they needed anything. But you know what? When Hurricane Ian hit this past September, October, it was hitting Florida at first. Then we saw that it was going up the coast. It was going to affect 4 of our states. I know I was reactive in how we should do this, but I reached out to Kathleen DeLulis, who is our Catholic Action Charity, and said, how can we help? So we developed a humanitarian fund. Again, it came out of a reaction position, but we're going to be proactive for the future. Again, throughout our history, we have assisted those in needs. Thank God that our own members within Florida did not need our assistance. But our brothers and sisters in Christ living in the Diocese of Venice, they were in need. We were able to donate $4,000 to the Diocese of Venice. That amount of money was matched and added to by a family that gave $25,000 to match our $4,000. So because of our generosity and the generosity of that family, the Diocese of Venice was able to assist 90,000 that were affected by Hurricane Ian. We do make a difference. Please continue to donate to this fund. Make your checks out to LAOH and in your memo with the Hibernian Humanitarian Fund and send it to our Catholic Action Officer, Kathleen DeLulis. Again, our sisters up in Buffalo were hit with terrible storms this past Christmas season. Thank God that they were all safe. But these are funds that are remaining that if our sisters would have needed help, or if their diocese in that area would need help, that we could provide that immediately. And we do not have to, again, plead. So I'm pleading now, please contribute as individuals, divisions, counties, and state to our humanitarian fund. Thank you for your generosity on behalf of the National Board, and I'm sure on behalf of the Diocese of Venice. Again, under the Catholic Action, we have Project St. Patrick. Now, at the convention, we decided that we would issue our own checks because we are a 501c3, and it does not make sense to give our money to another 501c3 so they could distribute our checks. So the Ladies Ancient Order of Hibernians was able, due to the generosity of our members, give $500 grants to 20 individuals that are studying for the priesthood. We do have one religious sister. I'd like to thank past National President Kathy Litton and past National President Ed Wallace for their foresight in having a project such as this, as Project St. Patrick. But in addition to helping our seminarians and our religious in their formation, please, we have to remember the men and women who are serving our church that are faced with challenges in continuing their ministry. We know that we all want to have chaplains in our divisions, our counties, and our states. But we know what's going on in our church in the United States and throughout the world. Vocations are not as prevalent as they were when most of us were growing up. I know when I was growing up, and you look at my own parish church, there was 21 members of our parish that joined the priesthood, whether it was our diocese or whether a religious organization. Unfortunately, there was never a list of the number of women that went in to give service to our church, whether they were teachers or nurses. We have to remember these individuals. So please, at your divisions, say a prayer for our men and women that are serving our church, that they stay strong. We know that we are sharing pastors. We know that churches are closing. I, for one, do not want to see any more churches close. I worked hard to make sure that my church could reopen. And I thank the administration of the Congregation of the Clergy under the late Pope Benedict XVI, that they saw that my parish, who gave men and women to the service of the church, was important enough to reopen. So please pray for your parish priest, and your sisters that have worked for many years in our schools and in our hospitals. I'm proud to say, listening into our sisters, that Ellen Ryan Jolly, who saw a need to recognize Catholic sisters in a period in our country's history where there was a lot of anti-Catholicism going around, the Nuns of the Battlefield Monument. During the American Civil War, we had 12 orders of sisters that served both sides in ministering to the sick and the wounded. Ellen Ryan Jolly wanted to remember them with a monument. In 2024, this monument will be 100 years old. When I was the national historian, we said, if you go to this monument, you have to go behind it to see that the ladies had anything to do with it or know anything about the role of these 12 orders of nuns. To me, that was unacceptable. And thank you, because all of you felt the same, that it was unforgivable that we have to do something and that this story needed to be told. And at the 2018 convention, we decided that we would do a wayside marker at the Park Service, with the Park Service. This monument is across the street from St. Matthew's Cathedral, where President Kennedy's funeral was, so it is strong in our Irish Catholic history. I have to thank Gail DePolito, Maria Humphreys, Ann Fisher, and all the women that were members of the DC LAOH for making sure that every year there was some ceremony at this monument. They would also be diligent in reporting to the Park Service when stones needed to be replaced, when the bench needed to be replaced, when the monument itself needed to be cleaned. And all three of those members are part of our Wayside Monument group. Gail and I met with the Park Service yesterday. This Wayside Monument is going to be made a reality probably by this September 24th. Because if you look at our schedule, we met with them initially yesterday. He's going to get back with us the week of the 16th with the first draft. Then we can come back during the week of the 30th. Gail and I will look at all the proposals. Then we'll get back, wait for a second draft. And by the end of March, they'll be ordering what is required for that monument. Sorry about that. And again, our history book, the proceeds from that history book will be helping us with our celebration that we hope to do at the dedication and also at the revealing of the monument itself. I got word from Gail that this September 24th, which is the actual anniversary, that the LAOH DC was already going to have a mass and a short program at the monument. Hopefully we can have an unveiling of the monument marker itself at that time, and that'll begin a year-long celebration for this major achievement of our order of this monument. This is one of the first monuments dedicated to women in our nation's capital. And I have to thank Sheila Gray and the Kyle Mulrooney Foundation, who provided the funds for the marker itself. Again, thank you, Casey. And thank you to the women of DC that always make sure that this monument is kept in the best shape it can possibly be. Gail DePolito is also our PEC chair, and she has been working very strongly in networking with a lot of agencies, but most importantly, other Catholic organizations. She has reached out to the Columban Center for Advocacy and Outreach. She's also worked with the Networking, which is the group that was founded by Catholic sisters that network for Catholic social justice issues on Capitol Hill, and the Ignatius Solidarity Network. So we are networking with other Catholic organizations, and thank you, Gail, for that. Also with our networking, we have reached out to many organizations. Again, we cannot thank the Irish government enough, with the Department of Foreign Affairs, with the Immigrant Support Program that helps us to do webinars such as this. Again, we have Hill Irish that has invited us to the ambassador's reception and keep us abreast of what's going on Capitol Hill that are of interest to Irish Americans, and in particular, Irish American women. Again, I said I work for, well, I don't work. I don't get paid for it, but I do write for iIrish, so it gives us a forum to advertise ourselves. We have wonderful museums, such as the one in Albany, Irish American Heritage. I know many of our members attend their events, both virtually and in person. I know we also have a relationship with the Irish Studies through Notre Dame, in particular, the Keogh Naughton Center and Boston College. I was able to attend Irish Network and promote the Ladies Ancient of Hibernians. With Siobhan Dennehy, we have a strong presence with the Coalition of Irish Immigration Centers. We have members in Pittsburgh that are members of the Irish American Unity Conference. In doing our networking, I have found out that there are other societies of women which I've reached out to. One is the Society of Irish Women in Scranton, PA, and then the Women of Irish Heritage of Northern New Jersey. Again, Irish groups working together can accomplish so much. And I look forward to reaching out with them. Major networking projects will be with the group out of Ireland. This group is called Her Story. Her Story is very big in promotion of women's story in Irish history, and they reach out to schools and to local communities to make sure those stories about women that have made an impact, in particular in Irish history, are recognized. This group was a very strong advocate in making sure that St. Bridget's Day will be a national holiday in Ireland. This last year, they did a nice visual show on the GPO of women in Irish history. This year will be the first recognized St. Bridget's Day national holiday. On January 21st, we have partnered with Her Story with a webinar on St. Bridget's Day. It'll be January 21st at 11 o'clock, 4 o'clock Irish time. I'm proud to announce that I received emails from them that this webinar will not be in our true webinar format, but Irish Central will be streaming this live on their Facebook page. So between Irish Central, our organization, and Her Story, the story of St. Bridget, the story of the mythological Bridget, will be shared and probably seen throughout the world. I'm looking forward to continuing to network with Her Story and sharing the stories of women in Irish America. The next thing is at the Irish campfire of the Irish Echo this past August, I met a woman who was in charge of Sober St. Patrick's Day in the New York area, Tammy Ellen McLaughlin. We started talking, and both of us know how important it is that our feast of St. Patrick and St. Bridget are recognized in the way it should be. We all know that we participate in our St. Patrick's Day parades, and our days are dignified. But a lot of our local communities do not celebrate in the manner that we do. There is a remarkable story of the real St. Patrick. And this year, we will be involved with a book club, a virtual book club that was initiated by Sober St. Patrick's Day and the St. Patrick Center in Downpatrick. As you can see, our logo is there and it'll be on all publications. We had a meeting this week where we met on how we're going to do this. And we encourage those in the New York City area to please attend in person, and our members throughout the country can attend virtually. As of yesterday, I heard that the men of the LAOH will be joining us in this project as well. Again, it's a book you can get on Amazon. I just received it. It is the actual translations of 2 letters of St. Patrick. Most of us know his confessions. They're easy read. It's only 100 pages. I would recommend all of our members into buying this book. Speaking with the founders of this book club who have already read the book, this book is suitable for our juniors as well. So encourage your juniors from 6th grade on up to get a copy of this book and read this book. And for juniors that are under the age of 6th grade, and even those there, Sober St. Patrick's Day on their website, they have a digital version of a children's book of St. Patrick that is available for download for anyone. So I encourage you all to visit Sober St. Patrick's Day, their website, for information on this virtual book club, as well as the digital book they have on St. Patrick. After the convention, we formed 3 new committees. We have a new award committee that came out of our convention, since we are no longer going to be jointly with the AOH on the John F. Kennedy or the Sean McBride Humanitarian Award. And as you can see, awards can give you a tremendous amount of encouragement to keep getting better, no matter how young or old you are. So we are still in the developmental process of forming the criteria. Our voting and the nomination process will probably remain the same as what we do for St. Bridget Humanitarian, as well as what we used to do with the JFK and the Sean McBride Humanitarian Award. I want to thank Sandy Merrill for agreeing to chair this event for this award. And I look forward, hopefully we'll be able to announce it, all the things on International Women's Day, which will be March 8th. And if everything goes well, maybe the first award will be presented at the interim board meeting. We also did a marketing committee, and I have to thank Kathy Norris for all her work with the marketing. When we market, we want to make sure that when they see something, people know it's for us. Our logo, which is the flags behind me, those are the official logo of the LAOH. There is another one that's been floating out there, which is a starburst, and it's like a shield. That is not our official logo. So if you do have flags or anything out there with that, please change to the official logo so that no matter where you go, when people see the cross flags behind me, they know it's an LAOH affiliated group. Also, Kathy has worked very hard with a group, a marketing group, promoting a variety of apparel, banners, business cards, name tags, flags for us. This is a store that is available on our website that you can go to. You do not have to use this store. This store is just available to make it easier for you. If your divisions, your counties, and your states have a vendor that you've been working with, please continue that relationship. Relationships are important locally because these vendors help you when you're promoting your activities. So I'm not encouraging anyone to leave their local vendor, but we are providing a service to you so that you can go to one place and see everything that is available. I personally have worked with this vendor throughout my campaigning on the national board. And I can say he's easy to work with. He has given the LAOH many discounts. If you were at the convention in Pittsburgh, you saw all the pop-ups that were there. Those were done by this company. I showed him what I had in Cleveland from another company. He did it for us, for the national board, and it's a discount of 20% that you would get from nowhere else. He also at times gives us free setups or free postage. He's also corrected the table runners that we had at our convention that were up at the national board. He also has done a podium banner for us for the future. And I know we do a lot of work with our AOH. He has developed a podium banner with both our logos on that you can personalize to your local areas. There's still a little kink with that personalizing on the website, and he is working on that, but you can always reach out to him with an email and he helps us. Also with our marketing, sometime this year, we will be having a survey. Now, this survey will serve us in many ways. First of all, when we do grants, we need to have the demographic of our organization. So this survey will be asking for your age. It'll be an age range, not your specific age. It will be saying whether you're Irish, Irish born, whether you're first generation, or if you are married to an Irishman. It'll also say some of your interests. It is here to help us market the LAOH better. So when this is developed and put out there, please respond and encourage all your membership to respond. Again, we need our younger members. They're our future. So Amanda McKay has a group of younger Hibernian members. Please encourage your younger members in joining this. At this time, if there's any questions or concerns, I will ask our committee to bring them forward. Kathleen DeLulis, was there any questions?
Marilyn, I think we've got most of them answered. I was just typing a response. Jamie Gonzalez asked about the Young Hibernians group. When has it started yet or is expected to start? So I was going to have her give her Amanda's email and have her reach out to her.
Yes, that would be correct.
Okay.
And again, if anyone saw our Advent calendar, which was very well received, that came out of that committee. And it brought the childhood back to all of us. So thank you, Amanda, and that committee.
There were several requests for the presentation that we've shared that it's going to be posted to the members only site, but didn't know if you were also going to email it out to the division or state presidents. So,
I will mail it out to the state presidents to inform them, their members, that it'll be on our members only page.
okay, great. And then one other question that came up that I don't believe I know the answer. Well, I know I don't know the answer to, and I've sent some emails to Kathy Turk as well as Christina and Catherine regarding where the Ukraine and humanitarian donations should be reflected on the annual treasurer report. We don't have a separate line on the report, and I'm not sure if it should go under donations or gifts. So
Okay,
have that open.
we'll defer it to those two experts. So thank you.
Yep. But other than that, I don't, unless somebody else on the panelist committee saw something else that should get shared with Marilyn, I think that captured it. There were several people who did share some anniversaries, and I made a list of those, so I'll email those to you, Marilyn, so that you have them.
Okay, Brianna, Maria Gallagher has her hand raised. Could you bring her up as a panelist?
Sure. Marilyn, one quick question. Someone did ask about applying for grants and if it was just on the national board or if the divisions could apply as well.
The divisions can apply as well. If you go, I know the Atlanta, Georgia, Irish Consulate did put out information on the immigrant support program. There's going to be a webinar in that area. If you go to the Department of Foreign Affairs.ie or check with your Irish consulates, they're probably all having something. The grant opens up January 19th and it goes for a month. So if I have that information, I'll forward it out to the state presidents as well.
And Maria's unmuted.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Brianna. I just wanted to ask Marilyn, if you could do something like a shorter like this was wonderful. If you could do something like in a little shorter version that maybe we could show at our like division meetings to our ladies who probably don't get on the webinar calls because they're not very familiar with it, even though we've spoken to them about it, and just like give them like a little pump talk in March about what we are about St. Patrick and, you know, something that we could just play at our meetings, something like this so that they could see you and maybe like a 15-minute blurb.
Thank you. I will consider that, and we'll, with my wonderful web team, we'll be working on something.
Great.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Maria, because I know that Brianna has been doing a series of interviews with the top 100. At least there were members of the LAOH.
Yes.
Little clips.
Yes.
We're hoping to roll that out so that March, along with Irish Heritage Month, and our historian will be having two presentations during that month. But we're also thinking of highlighting those women from Philadelphia with those little clips and a woman of the day. So similar to the Advent calendar.
Okay.
So we will be doing that as well. But I will take your comment, Maria, and see what we can do to help spread this news to our local division. So thank you very much for bringing that forward.
That would be great because they only see us and they don't realize that there is a big, wide organization out there. So I think it would help them a little bit. Thanks, Marilyn. I don't want to put more work on you.
Thank you.
Okay.
If nothing else, I know we all have busy days.
Ooh,
And,
Marilyn, there's one more hand raised.
Okay, who is that?
Kathleen Hannigan.
Go ahead and bring her forward, please.
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kathleen.
Well, I was the one that asked about the grants to be able, I belong to an Irish organization where we've been very blessed to get grants every year. It's usually for our festival. But on the LAOH end of it, I'm just wondering if we can do it on either a division level or state level.
You can do it on a division and or state level. As long as you have someone that would be writing up the grant, and just make sure when you're doing it, you let them know that it's not the national, you know, that it's
Yes.
very specific that it's a division. And I
We're
believe,
we're 501c10? Are we 5 divisions?
divisions or states are either a 501c8 or a 10. But
Okay,
that does not prohibit you from asking for assistance from the immigrant support program.
okay. All right, thank you, thank you. Nice.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you everyone for your participation. And I hope to see you in our virtual book club. And I know we won't see you in the streaming, but look for us with St. Bridget's Day with Her Story. We'll be streaming it live on Irish Central. Somebody asked if we had, how many members we have national. We have just short of 10,000. And I have to say, this question came from Monica Welsh, who is one of our sisters from Connecticut, who is living in Dublin right now. And her and I had a wonderful conversation of how we can network with some groups, more groups in Ireland. So thank you, Monica. Okay, well, thank you, everyone, and have a good day.